Okay, 2021 and 22, you are going to need this guy. And actually, you're going to need this part right here. They're going to ask you about the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive. Your original statement is if P, then Q. If they ask you to do the converse, you switch it and make it if Q, then P. If they ask for the inverse, you don't switch it. You negate both of them. So instead of if P, then Q, it's if negate P, then negate Q. And then if they ask you for the contrapositive, which is the longest word, you're actually going to do the converse and the inverse at the same time. You will switch them from if P, then Q to if Q, then P, but you will also put negation symbols in front of them. So going back to here, this one wants the inverse. So remember, if the original is if P, then Q, the inverse says you're going to negate them. All right, that's the inverse. So it's still going to be an if-then. You've got the if, and if the sun shines, then they will bask. So these all have if-thens. If, then, well, shoot, I can't even eliminate anybody. If, then, fine, be that way. Okay. And then if the stuff after the if is the sun shines, you're going to make it the sun does not shine. The sun does not shine. And then, of course, the back half, which is they will bask, will become they will not bask. They do not, will not, whatever. And that's the only one that's got both correct. The sun does not shine, then they will not bask. All right, so D is the answer there. And then 21 wants you to do the converse. And remember, if the original is if P, then Q, the converse is you switch them. You make it if Q, then P. That's the converse. And they all start with if then, so you've got that part, right? You got if and then. But what you're going to do is you're going to take the alarm beeps every 30 seconds and you're going to switch it with you have to replace the battery. These two are just going to switch places. So it'll be if you have to replace the battery, then the alarm beeps every 30 seconds. If you have to replace the battery, then the alarm beeps every 30 seconds. There it is. It's A. That one wasn't too bad. And then 22 is the contrapositive. Come on. There we go. Contrapositive. All right, so if the original one is if P, then Q, you're going to switch it and make it if Q, then P, but you're also going to negate them both. Oh boy. So it starts off with an if and a then, and then you are going to take the you received a refund of over $1,000 and you're going to switch it with you cannot make a claim, but because you're negating them both, you, I guess, will not or cannot, you will not receive a refund. And then this one says you cannot, so if I negate a cannot, that's gonna make it a can. So it should say if you can make a claim, then you will not receive a refund of over $1,000. If you can make a claim, if you can make a claim, if you can make a claim, okay, there's those two, then you did not receive a refund. This one says then you do receive it. It's not that one. It's B. B. And that's those three problems that are